Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I promised you that I would leave you with a tutorial to finish up this project. And here is my final image here that I created today. So what I'm going to go through in here is to show you how to do the clipping mask on your text and how to add some of these layers that I did show you in class, but want to show you once again. So here's my final product once again. I am going to save this as another document and delete all of what I've done. So now in this one, what I will do is I'm going to delete everything that you see here. Not everything, but I'm going to delete those layers. I'm going to delete the text. Okay, so here you see my images. I told you all that you all needed to go into Google, find the different people you wanted, or the different people that I have listed as a requirement, and then you are going to edit them by cutting out their backgrounds and then placing them on a background of your selection. Here, what you will see is when I turn off all these layers, I'll show you one by one what each of mine are. Here is the image that I selected. Next, on layer 1, what you see is I've put in a gradient. So if I turn off that one, this is what it looks like. It's not really a gradient actually. What it is I took the paintbrush and I painted around this area. And I made sure that my flow and opacity were not very high. And I painted all in and through here. Then what I did is I dropped my opacity down to 74% so it wouldn't be full blown. So if I turn that back up, you'll see it looks really dark. But I lightened it up just a little so it wouldn't be too I'm Next, I placed Carol Danvers in, and on her you will see that there are effects on her. All that I did was I'm going to delete the effects. So here's what she looks like normally. To add the effects, what I did was I went down to effects here on the menu and I went to blending options. To make her stand out a little, I added an outer glow. It is not necessarily, but it's an option. I mean, you don't have to do this. If your images stand out from the background by themselves, you don't have to add this in. So there she is. And then I had Mercedes Knight, or Misty is what they call her, Jean Grey, Storm, and Spider-Woman. Now, once I put them in and I decided how I wanted them to lay out, I decided to do my text. So I clicked on the type tool. When you click the type tool, it will automatically create a layer for your text. As you can see, it created mine down here, and I really want it all the way up at the top. So once I finish typing everything, I'll have that come up. I typed Marvel in all capital letters. You cannot see it at this time because it's in a dark font. So I will make it white so it stands out. And then I am going to up the size. So the size of this has to be really big in order to be seen across here at the bottom.
Mr. Shelton, you have a call in the main office. Mr. Shelton, you have a call in the main office.
Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I have this here. I have Myriad Pro is what I'm choosing to select for now. I'm going to select a bold Myriad Pro. I will then click on the move tool and move it. Now, I want this to be on the top. So here we go. It's on the top. Now, some of you were asking how I did the clipping mask, and I am going to now show you how to do that. In order to do a clipping mask of all these women, what I have to do is select each of these layers. And actually, what I am also going to do is I'm going to delete all the effects on here because I don't really have to have the effects. I just threw it in there for the sake of doing it. So since one doesn't have it, I'll make sure all of them don't do it. I can hold Shift and click all these layers. The next thing I want to do is go in and duplicate those layers. Once I duplicate those layers, you'll see them all together here. The next thing I should do is to merge these layers. They're already selected, so you just say merge layers. They all come into something called layer 2 copy. I'm going to put that above the type layer. So once I do that, you see it comes on top of the type. The next thing I want to do is to right click this object or this layer, say create clipping mask. It looks like nothing has happened. However, if I move this around, do you notice how the people the images are moving around in the text. So there is my text. So the next thing I want to do so that this stands out is I want to click on the marble and I want to add layer effects. Again, you go to blending options. I want to go to bevel and emboss. Here I have the option. Once you click on it, now just know, just because you click it doesn't mean you're on that option. So you have to click on bevel and emboss. And then as you look here, you can see its depth. You can change the size of it. You can change the softness of it if you so choose. You can also change the contour. Now, I happen to prefer this contour here. Actually, it's a bit much. That's not what I prefer. The one I prefer is this one. However, because I turned up my size so much, it looks a little special. So I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. And now you can see how it's starting to take shape. All right, so there it is with that. You can do inner bevel, you can do an outer bevel like that. And you can again make the depth bigger if you'd like. I don't want mine to be too large. You can make it stand out a little bit more, however you so choose. Again, your contour can be changed. And then you can also add a drop shadow to it if you want, or an outer glow. The outer glow just adds some lightness on the side, and you can spread it and change the size of it. You can also do pattern overlays if you want to, or gradient overlays, and just change the opacity of them if that's what you want to do. When you change the opacity, you can give it, a nice little opacity with the gradient overlay. Or you can uncheck that, and if you choose to do a pattern overlay, again, you can change the opacity on that and give it like a little bubble look. Not that that looks good, not that I'm telling you to do it, so please don't feel like you have to, but I'm just showing you your options. So here you see your depth, you see everything here. Looks pretty good. You can choose for a hard chisel, a chisel soft, or leave it as smooth. You also have emboss. You can do pillow emboss. Each of these changes it to look a little bit different. So it's all on you and how you want this to look. I perhaps think I want to stick with an inner bevel because I just like the way that looks. So there is my text. Now, what you can also do is change the opacity of this so it's not so strong. You don't have to, but this is always an option. Now, on my final, what you saw, and I'll go back and show you that in a sec. On my final, I had Superwoman looking like she was coming out of the text. So the way you would do that is take this, go to the drop-down menu, click Duplicate Layer.
How you doing?
Good, and you? Duplicate Layer, and then you're going to drag this to the top. You want this at the very top. And then we're going to use a layer mask in order to adjust this. So what I'll do is I'll click on the mask. I want to get my paintbrush, make sure that the color is black, and I am going to paint through here. I'm going to make my brush size a little bit larger. And the only thing I want to look like it's coming through is her upper body. I don't want everything else coming through. Alright? And I don't want her wing coming through that A either. Got it? So this is how I came up with my image. This is how you make it look like everything is jumping out. If you want, again, you can go back in and you can add some other effects to it. You can also, oh, I forgot to show you this. In the layer effects, you can also do a color overlay and change the color. In mine, I did a blue. And then what I did was change the opacity so I could still see what was going on behind it. And it just kind of blended the background into this. So your choice again. Have fun with this. I'd love to see what you all come up with. Can't wait to get back and see you guys. I'll miss you all. Enjoy.